Hello friends, Randy Saleh here, your instructor for your business class, and as I said I would have a video on how to write, format, and submit your written projects in this class. So I am in the student view, and as we come to your modules, or again you can access that from your home page as well, we are looking at our project 1, the business environment. Each project will be the same direction, very similar. So I click my project, and here we go. This is your PDF file. You'll download this, and you will utilize the grading rubric, which I'm going to go over, of course. And you must complete your projects, my friends, in a Microsoft Word or PDF file, and then you're going to upload it back to me, which will be the final step of this video. Your project will go through Turnitin, which is just like Safe Assign. This is a report. And if you'll be able to look at your report. If you have a match of greater than 50%, that indicates plagiarism. And what it probably indicates is you just need to rewrite some of your work, okay? And I'm going to go into this through the grading rubric, but just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Rewrite parts of that assignment, or I would receive a failing grade if it was me doing it in a course. So anything greater than 50%, I mean, if it's getting up there, my friends, start rewriting it. Here's something that also happens. If you write a very short paper, you'll get a big markup here because the words are going to be very similar to somebody else's paper. So, but let's go into this right now. So that's what you will do. Download that. Once you click that, you'll download your project, save that again, on your computer system. Create a file for BUSI 1301 so you can put all your information in there for the fall semester. And our learning management system doesn't really work well on just a phone. And I know a lot of students are just doing everything on their phone, but for this course, you really need a laptop, desktop, something pretty good and powerful. Microsoft Surface Pro would do as well. But you definitely need some work that you're not viewing your work and you're creating your work. And that's really from a laptop, desktop, or a really good tablet. Just my advice for you. And so let's go ahead and let me walk you through the actual assignment, and then I'll walk you through the grading rubric so you can get the best grade in this class for your written work, for all the hard work you're going to do. Let's look at that. It pops up, and here we go. Now, I would download that, save it. I have a lot of students who don't do that, and at the last minute something goes wrong and they don't know how to get back to it. So download that to your computer, and it will go into a PDF file. And here we go. This is project 1. You can use your textbook, and you will find these. In fact, I've got them listed up by chapter. You can also use your internet, your notes, PowerPoints. So to do this, just if you do use outside sources, and any source you use, please reference it. And I'm going to go over the grading rubric as well after this. So here's your heading, business environment. And when you write back your answers, you're going to have the business environment. Now, the business environment is composed of 5 components: economic, legal, technological, competitive, social, and global environments. Define, explain each of these environments. This is from chapter 1. So you'll find this answer in chapter 1. Now, it is not a one-sentence answer. You're going to write quite a bit on all of these. You're going to define and explain each question. Okay, so they're not a one answer, they're not a one sentence, they're not just a few words. Tell me what the economic environment is, the legal environment, what the technological environment. Okay, again, we're going to go over the grading rubric of how long this paper should be and how you should write it. But that's how you would hit it right there, question 1, business environment, and then write your answer. You're going to type this out in your own Microsoft Word. Must be in a Microsoft Word document. Now, if you use something else like Google Docs or Pages, You can't, but you must convert those back to either a Word or a PDF file. Google Docs, and this is something that a lot of students may not understand, is used for sharing, but it's not something you send. I don't want to see the link of your project. You can basically say at the end of Google Docs, save as or export to PDF or Microsoft Word, and it converts it for you, and that's what you submit in. Free market economy, again, everything is an explanation, and you can write as much as you want. And again, I'm going to show you how to format that here in the next part of this video. Forms of competition. So there we are, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 11 questions. So if you will do, and if you looked at one question a day or at least 3 per week, you knock this out just fine and not a problem. And again, I'm guiding you through the book, through your chapters, chapter 1. Now this one right here, economic challenges of the United States. Usually in each project I have something that you would have your own opinion on. So what do you think the most important economic challenges this nation will face in the next 10 years? And there's a lot of information. And of course, COVID-19 has put this into a completely different perspective. But we have a terrible national debt. We have tremendous inequality of income. We have food insecurities, poverty, lots of different things. And so that is from your own words, okay, your own thoughts. Again, follow through the chapters, and I think you will find this very, very doable if you wait until the day it's due and try to do it all. It's not going to be good. It's going to look bad, and I'll be able to tell very quickly. So again, we're not coming to class. We're not driving, hopefully, the commute time you would. So spend an hour each day working on this, and then proofread it. I think you're going to learn a lot from it, and it's going to be a good quality college level project. Here are the instructions. Each question must be answered. This is where I go into depth, and this will be the next part of our video, Grading Rubric Guide for Your Business Projects. Simply, the project should be a minimum of 1,200 words, okay, which means every question must be answered, and the total project must be, that's just the minimum requirements. You're going to use the topic headings. It's going to be in Microsoft Word. Okay, when you upload your file back to me, please put your name in it. Like if I were doing this, I'd say Randy Saleh, Project 1, Business Environment. That makes it so much easier for me to always grade and look at your work. I get sometimes document 1 from a student. Well, I'm going to have to resave it onto my computer, and then I have to rename it. And the less work I have to do on anyone's project is easier for me, and it makes the process much more easier. Who is your audience? You know, friends, maybe this is one of, I like to think of these projects, each one you create, you're going to send this to a vice president of an organization that you'd like to be employed. This may be the final step of your interview process. Are you proud of the work you've done? Is it that high of quality? Yeah, all right. So this needs to be read very well, the Grading Rubric Guide for Your Business that I provided for you. And again, if you can answer a question a day, then you're going to be in great shape, or at least 3 a week. You won't have to rush towards the end. So what we're going to look at now is the Grading Rubric Guide that will really show you what I'm looking for, how I'm going to grade it, and what type of project you're going to submit. So friends, here is the Grading Rubric Guide for your written and business projects, and this is for my classes of BUSI 1301 and Marketing 1311. I want to give you some help in how to write. Again, the Business Advisory Committee meetings that I go to and the business community have said time and time again that the written communication from so many college graduates is lacking, and it's very difficult to read and to send proposals to customers. So this is how we are going to format our projects. So please read through the guide that you have, and it's on every assignment. But every project will include a title page. Title your work and include your name. Okay? Your answers, all right, will be numbered, and you'll use the heading that I have provided for you, all right, on each project that you have. So use bullets and short paragraphs. A paragraph, my friends, in business writing should never exceed 6 sentences. Unfortunately, you've been taught in English Composition 1 and 2 that basically a paper looks like one giant paragraph, so to speak, with double spacing, et cetera, and that's not what the business world would like to see. So we are going to use shorter paragraphs, no more than 6 sentences. Every new topic should be its own paragraph. So if you're writing about economics and competition, the 3 forms of competition, or whatever the question may be, each new thought should be its own bulleted paragraph. I'm going to show you an example here. Okay, we do not use double spacing. Double spacing has no place in business writing in a proposal. Use 1 to 1.5 line spacing. Personally, I use 1.15. That is a very good look to your project. 11 or 12 point font for the body, and 14 to 16 point font for your headings. Anything larger makes it very difficult to read. I do not want to see body text at 14 to 16 font. Okay, 11 to 12. So number your pages. What about grammar and syntax? Every project that you write, assume you are going to deliver this to a vice president of marketing, vice president of operations, or a vice president of communication to the company that you wish to work for. Would you be proud of what you have written and sent in? And do you want somebody to look at it? That's your audience, in my opinion. Okay, as far as the look needs to be. So yes, spelling, grammar, all projects should be written in the utmost professionalism, proper grammar, punctuation, spelling. If it's filled with grammatical errors and resembles one giant paragraph and basically somebody has ignored everything I've said, is not going to be graded well, and it should have never been submitted. Now, each campus does have its own writing center to help you in this area. Now, they're going to be busy, obviously, but you can email your paper in. Maybe you have a friend, maybe you have a relative. It's always good to proofread your work. It's a necessity to proofread your work. Now, we are going to submit our assignments through SafeAssign. Okay, it's already loaded in when you upload your file. So do not plagiarize. Okay, you can cite in either APA or MLA style, and that's just your bibliography page. But do not use the double spacing that APA and MLA want. We're just using basically you just need a reference cited page. All right, your source is cited. Make sure you're not retweeting. You can go on the internet. You can find some examples. You're going to be using your book and some of the notes. That is perfectly fine. Just rewrite it in your own words. A direct copy and paste, even if it is cited, is still plagiarism. So, you're going to go on to different courses, to different universities more than likely in your career and in your educational journey. And I'm just trying to prepare you, because if something gets caught at the university level of plagiarism, it could mean dismissal. I just want you to rewrite it. I want you to do your best there. Okay? Again, do some research, absolutely. Write it in your own words. Cite the source. By doing this, you're going to be in good shape. Now, on your SafeAssign, if it reaches a 50% hit, and it will tell you because you get to see the report, you're going to need to rewrite parts of your paper. If you submit a paper with over 50% sources that it finds throughout the internet, and you say, I'm not going to rewrite it, then you'll receive an F for plagiarism, or I'd receive an F if I did that. So Just give me every chance here to not to let that happen. Okay, so there's the formatting, the rubric. I've taken a lot of college classes, and there's been some times, and certainly in different semesters, all I wanted to do was make a B. Man, if I could just grab a B and get through this class, and do the good work, that'd be great. Well, here's what you do. You answer every question on the project that you're working on. Okay, you have the right formatting, grammar, spelling, syntax, and the minimum word count for the total project is 1,200 words. You should get right about an 80, a B, fine grade in the college level. Now, my friends, sometimes a student misinterprets what I've just said, and they answer 2 out of 10 questions, but they put 1,200 words and say, hey, I think I'm done. That grade is an F because you have to answer every single question. So let's check this out. 10 questions on a paper, 120 words a question, that gets you 1,200 words. Again, answered correctly, good formatting, you should be in good shape. You want a higher grade? Well, I applaud you for that. An 85 equals this. All questions answered adequately, proper formatting, grammar, spelling, syntax, minimum word count for that total project is 1,700 words. All questions answered again, you get an 85. More than likely, again, all right, provided everything is done right. So that should be right at an 85. You want an A? Excellent. Again, all questions answered. Now we have in-depth research. So this is much more than 120 words per question. Okay, great, proper formatting, grammar, word count is 2,200 words. Then you've got a 90. And for those who want to excel, past that, lock down 95. All right, excellent research, excellent formatting, grammar, spelling, minimum word count 2,600 words, and there's a wow factor to it. I mean, it just looks great, and I am very happy for you. I have had in my time of teaching, I'm not saying you have to do this, but there have been many students who put in 4,000 word papers and just amazing research. Now, that's just because they went over the top. You don't have to write that much, but I'm just saying some have. I've had many students write 500 words, and this is a very poor grade. I mean, you're not even at half of what the minimum requirement that I wanted, because I want you to make A's and B's in the class. And so that grade is more than likely an F because there's questions that did not get answered. So if I put forth minimal effort in what I do, I'm going to receive a minimal grade. Poor formatting, syntax, looks bad, and I would probably tell myself to drop the class. If that's the best I can do is a 500 to 700 word, even anything under 1,200 words, doesn't, I put very little effort in there, I'd probably just question myself and say, why am I even taking this class? All right, because I want you to do well. And not just in the class, I want you to do well in your careers. Now, I have been teaching a while, and once in a while, I've had a student come in and said, I've worked in the corporate world for 22 years, and I've never had to do this. Well, first of all, I'd say congratulations. Sounds like you've had a good career, and whatever you had to do in the corporate world is one thing, but what we do in this class is another, and this is the way it should look. So what should it look like? Well, here's a example. Now, this is for one of my other classes that I teach, personal finance. And this was an investments project. I redacted a lot. It's just a couple of questions. But again, if you're using Microsoft Word, you can use what you want as long as I get it back into a Word or a PDF file. So this was Microsoft Word, which you get for free, by the way. All right. And, it automatically has its title page you put in there. And so nice looking title. This was how when a question was answered. So it was investments, components of risk. You see, there's numbered, and there was the topic heading, and these are the components of risk in investments. So basically, every item had its own paragraph: inflation risk, interest risk, business failure, market risk, and then systematic and unsystematic. As I read this, as you read this, you can get to the information very quickly. As you make your reports and sales proposals throughout your career, and you're giving this to a customer or to an executive vice president or to a venture capitalist for funding, they can go in and see exactly what they need to see very quickly. If I were to put this into one giant paragraph, hey, I just wouldn't even want to read it. And I couldn't find the information that I need. Global investment risk. And again, works cited. This was the textbook. Yes, you do cite your textbook because your textbook is a reference. So again, this particular paper had like 15 references because this was just one answer, and out of about a 12 question project. So I hope and I believe this should give you some good guidance of my grading style, my grading rubric. I'm not trying to punish anyone. I'm trying to help you really get into a technical business style writing that you can perform throughout your long and prosperous career, which I hope everyone enjoys. So here we are back at the project itself, and now you know how to write, you know who your audience is. Again, you're going to submit this. This project may be that final interview for the dream job you want, or to a vice president of marketing or business development. That's the kind of quality I believe it should be. Right up here tells us our due dates. Now this is a fall 2021 class. If I'm taking this in spring 2022 or summer 2022, you will have obviously a different due date. You can always find that information in the wonderful course organizer that I have created for you. So now I just need to submit it. I'm using a Microsoft Word file. Now, right here, Office 365, we give you Microsoft Word for free, the whole Microsoft Office. You just log in with your, I believe, your MyTCC email, and we've got that for you. And if you're using something else, I know I've said it, but if you're using Pages, just save it as a Microsoft Word or convert to PDF. Google Docs really isn't something, a final document. It's for sharing, not sending, or not for submitting as a final document. But you can convert it to a Word, save as Microsoft Word or PDF. So there's no reason I should ever get a file that's not Microsoft Word or PDF. Well, we've given you the Microsoft Office, so we got that. All right, you're ready to do it. Okay, I'm about to submit. What do I do? Start assignment. Again, everything is right there again for you. You can always hit start assignment first. It's not going to hurt anything. So now we're going to upload this. No text submissions here. We are simply uploading a file. And so I'm going to choose my file, just like attaching something to an email. Well, here it is. Just like I asked, please have your name, the course, and what project you are submitting to me. The less work I have to do to grade your work, the easier it is and to do it, my friends. If you wanted to have a comment in here, you could say, "Dear Professor Saleh, thank you so much for allowing me to write this project. I've learned so much from you. It's just amazing." And here it is. I mean, hey, I'll take that. You don't have to write anything if you don't want to. Perfectly fine. Now we submit the assignment. And there you go. All right. It has now been submitted. See right there. You have, this is a safety mechanism for both of us. If you simply try to email it, well, I won't accept it. But if you're trying to email it, there's nothing that says it ever got to me. At least the attachment didn't get. We know this is right. Here's my submission details. And there it is. You can say, hey, I got it right there. Project. And basically, and if you need to resubmit it, I have multiple attempts, my friends. Sometimes we do hit the wrong project. Kind of like carpentry here, we want to measure it twice and cut once, and so just make sure you have your right project in there. If you didn't and you need to resubmit it, you could resubmit. Add the comment, please disregard the first one, and I'll always look at the latest one that you do. Okay. Now, in the summer semester, I had a student, and I appreciate their conscientiousness, but they did it like 10 times, and that's way too much. Again, would you submit a report to your interview committee 10 times? Would you submit one to your boss 10 times? More than likely, you would not do that. That's my career advice for you. Don't do that. It's at that one time. So there we are, my friends. That is how to do it, and then it makes it easy to grade. So I hope this helps. Forewarned, my friends, is forearmed. Now that we know how to get all that through, goes back to our home, back to our modules, and then there's how we find it. We'll do that for each of the 3 major projects in this course. I can't wait to read your amazing work.